Welcome back to another episode of Gregtech Community Edition Modern. Last time we got ourselves this clean room and this wonderful suit of armor that allows us to hover around and build in a much easier fashion, which actually helped me get the cables from our active transformer over to our brand new clean room. And today we actually need to get some stuff upgraded so that we can start making our Mark II reactor of that thing. Because otherwise, I want to be sitting here for probably days trying to get all of the different things needed to craft that up. So let's go ahead and get right into what we're working on. I think our last ZPM energy hatch should be ready. And there it is indeed. So we've got ourselves the Fluix cables and our power cables set up. So we're going to go ahead and put our assembler over here in this corner. And I'm going to go ahead and just make sure it gets popped up nice and quick. We're going to go ahead and insert all of the back pieces. Just like so. Oh, I feel like I did forget something in this, but maybe I didn't. No, it is empty. Okay. So we'll do that, and then we just need our inside pieces here. And we wanted... Oh, I wanted to see about... What is that? It's called Emmy hatch? Emmy hatch? So there's like an input and an output hatch. Can you do it with a screwdriver if we do just the input? Okay, okay. Can we auto-craft? Okay, let's go check that, actually. Kind of forgot about that thing. And I'd actually like to try them out. So let's go ahead and add those to the crafting queue. So we got that. We just need to go ahead and insert that crafting recipe as well. And then we can go ahead and set this one up and just tell it to substitute alternative items. And we can pop both this one and that one into there and go over and insert our thing into the assembler. Maybe. We can actually get over there. Clean room right there. Take off the hover mode. Let's pop it right into this ZPM one so we can try to get a couple of them quickly enough. We got input hatch. So this allows fetches fluids. Wait, so does it need an ME bus then for the other thing? Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, we're going to do that in another episode because I have no idea how to use that. Well, let's go ahead and order. Need data stick to copy the settings. I'm guessing it doesn't work very well with auto crafting stuff. Auto pull from ME nodes with automatically stock the first 16 items in ME system. Update. Yeah, so it looks like that's more for the auto crafting, not for, well, auto crafting's not the right term for it. It's more used for, what's the better term for it? Just like mass producing stuff. And there is our piece here for the assembler. And don't think we're ever going to have more than 4 for the assembler. So let's go ahead and put that there. We need, actually, we can't do that there. That's got to go over here. Plus ourselves a maintenance hatch. And then we need, I guess what I wanted to do is we're going to have our output right there. We're going to have our inputs. Where'd they go? There we go. Input hatch. There's our output, and there's our input bus. So we can do our input. input and our output. Where'd it go? Output bus right there. We could just go ahead and fill out the last of the blocks. What? I guess I had an extra one. I think I did have an extra. Yeah, I had a single extra one in there before. There's the assembler done, nice and quick. And we're going to go ahead and get ourselves the sawmill done. Which that one, because it's shorter, we're going to actually pack that up against the wall over here. Maybe I could fit it. Hold on. What do we got? We've got a 4x4x7, so it could fit right there. But it is going to come all the way out to the doorway here. So let's make sure we get ourselves the input and output buses assigned to an area that we can have. Yeah, they actually do have to go one block in. We'll go ahead and do that. One block in, input, output. Where did the... Oh, that's the output. We can do our input there. No. Nope. This is actually the best setup. So we're going to go ahead and do our output at the bottom and then our inputs just like so. So then we can do our ZPM input right there and allow a wire to feed it in. Boom, and wire cutters. Snip. And then we just need to fill out the back here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then because this is going to be the bulky side, we got to go up to the top. And then we go across. I think it's right there. Or is it 4 across? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 plus the first one is 5. Now we just got to fill in our back spots. And I guess that one actually does require being filled. Right here. And now we can put our saw blades in. And from the looks of the saw blades, those were directly facing up. So we can go just like this. And have 2 empty spaces. Just like that. And now we just need our parallel and our maintenance hatches. That's from somewhere else, so we don't need those. And then it's just up to finishing the multi-block. So we got to make sure we got it set right. And then there is a hollow space between the blades and the actual multi-block. So we can go ahead and build this out. Build out the floor. But then there is a 2-block hollow space there. And then we just got to fill out our margins. This one's got to be taken out. 2, 3. Tempered glass. And our large cutting saw. Now, this machine can be used for 2 different recipe things. We can either use it for the cutter or for the lathe. I really don't think there's that many things that we're going to need a bigger lathe for, so this is probably the only time we're going to end up using this machine for this mod pack, because there's not really anything that's got a better recipe input from the lathe. But we are going to have to set ourselves up the pattern thing. And so to do that, I'm going to need some interfaces again. I don't think I have any left over. So let's go ahead and grab out a few more interfaces. Let's do like 10. I think I'll get 12 out of that. We'll get 2 of the block ones and 10 of these flat ones. It's not going to take too long. But now we can also look at what we're going to end up needing to move over. So there is a lot of blocks. I don't know how much we'll really need a lot of the LUV stuff, but we can move all of our computer casing things over. Anything else, like our iridium, neutronium reflectors, we're going to need those. Our fusion glass, we're going to need that. Anything in the ZPM that we're going to need our active transformers. I think that's the biggest thing. So let's go ahead and grab ourselves a crafting thing. Grab ourselves a bunch of these interfaces. We'll convert those as well. And then we need to grab ourselves a pattern upgrade. It does look like there's not really much we want to move over because we're not going to do too much with the tritium coils. The dynamo hatches for ZPM are okay to stay over here. Yttrium barium cuprate cable. Yeah, I'm not seeing much else we really want to move besides like the cable, the active transformer. That one maybe. That's the saw, so we want to keep that so that we can grab it later. And then over here we just need the fusion glass, the reflector. We want our superconducting coils. We want just in case we'll grab the fusion. Ludicrous we don't need. We do need the computer casing stuff. We are going to want our transmission hatches, our advanced computer casings, our optical hatches, our high power casings, computer heat vent, computer casing. And it looks like we want those fiber optic cables too. So we'll do the fiber optic cables. I think that's all we really want to transfer. So let's go ahead and head back over here. And we can go ahead and transfer that by doing our interfaces. Just like that. Actually, it's storage bus that we need. I don't know why I thought we needed the interface there. Because 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we can grab out our thing here. And then we need our storage buses from our backpack. That's what it was. 1, 2, 3, 4. And one more. Now, we do need to add a 1 because there is that coil, and the coils require a 1 on those. But we need ourselves the storage buses, which means we also need a few more storage buses. So let's craft another 10 of those while we fix this. Boom, boom. Storage bus. Just like that. Now we can hook those cables up like so. And then we just need to put this up. And we just need... Where did our quartz fiber? So I guess what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make sure that these don't connect. Which... Let's see, can I just pull off those? Here we go. We'll do... Oh. That would be silly for me to place it right the first time. Underneath. And our 2 right there. And that system is all hooked up. We just have to add our interface for the output. And now we can test it by crafting something we got in there. So what do we got in there? We could craft up something of... We're going to need some fusion glass. So let's go ahead and craft up some of the fusion glass. And we got the rest of our storage buses to finish up the next one. Let's look at our Mark II reactor so we can figure out how much we actually need. So if we get our MK2 reactor, not that one, that one, we need 31 fusion glass. So let's look up our fusion glass. Fusion. We can craft up an additional 30. And just see how that goes. Make sure that that works. We'll let it go while we hook up our second one. So now for this one, I'm just going to go over and snatch up our saw stuff. Because that's going to be easier than trying to move everything over later. But we go ahead and plop it down just like so. Dump in all of our recipes. Go back for the last one that we don't have. Kind of nice getting to run this fast around instead of having to fly everywhere and way overshoot our destination. So we now need our storage buses. We need some sort of cable we're going to change the color of. So we'll go here and there. Grab out our spray can for red to supply the power. And then we will grab out our other blue cable here. Boom and boom. And our quartz fiber cable. Just like so. Oh, we need our interface, of course, to be able to actually have it do its thing. And there you go. That will now clear out a good chunk of what we got in here. The only question is, can I stuff the rest of these over in my ZPM? Oh, we wanted our fiber optic. Oh, that's a laser. We want the laser one over there, too. Anything in here we really need to consider having. We need the here two. We need the diodes. We'll do all of those in the next thing. The battery, that thing. High voltage. Boom, 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 boom. Let us put those in there. We'll put the coils away. This is already set to 1, so that's good. Put our laser pipe in the other one. I want to see about putting the rest of these in the other one if I can. So if I can get away with that, that's going to be much nicer on the recipes. Even though these will all be crafted in the same thing, it'll go by much faster at a ZMP rate on top of the fact that it's a parallel craft too. So, fusion glass. How much longer are we waiting? And what are we waiting on? Oop, and fall in a hole. Okay, so we're crafting up the neutronium reflectors right now. Which... we've got the beryllium, we've got the... Is there an issue with those? So I think I moved those over to this new thing. Insufficient power. And why is that? Don't tell me we, like, ran out of power. No, there's the thing there. You know, I really need to learn how those things are set up. There's a problem. But yeah, that's going to be a much faster craft now with the iridium neutron reflectors crafting up in batches of 3. Gets enough in there for the batch. Oh, that's why. We actually could use a better input hatch on that. So let's look at that. What is our input? Highest input hatch that we've got is an LUV, it looks like. So let's go ahead and get one of those started. We'll swap that out at some point. Because item-wise, we're fine. We got an HV on there. But... and actually, I don't think we are fine. What is our input bus? 49 items. Let's go ahead and actually do that, because I just realized all of those little smart parts on them. Maybe not that much. That one does 16 items of it. Huh. Finished our input hatch. Not waiting on anything in there right now. Go ahead and swap it out. Hopefully I didn't delete any liquid. I'll know if that's got anything in there, and it doesn't, so we're good. Input bus, and we'll go ahead and break. And replace. I guess now comes up to some sawing experience now. So we've got these to produce quite a bit at a time now. What do we have? I don't think I have the fusion reactor ready to start crafting. So what do we got? We got our fusion reactor needs a recipe. Go ahead and get that one out. We need our coil recipe, which also needs an additional thing of this. Extruder to a small fluid pipe, just like that. Okay. That one has the small fluid pipe. Now the question is, do I need... It just needs a ZPM assembler, so this can be done in that assembler, which is one of the other ones we wanted. So that's good. And we still needed the double and a quadria plate. So let's go ahead and put that together there. The next block, and this is the one that I really want to test its wherewithal, is the assembly line to get this thing. So we're going to need 16 of it. What it's telling us for it. That will be the maximum amount we can take. So let's look at our... Oh, we're not going to be able to craft those until the fusion glass is done, though. Let's just get the rest of the other parts prepped for crafting then. Those are done. We need our fusion casings, which we only need 48 of those. I don't know if I have ZPM hatches ready yet. So let's grab our block here. It looks like besides the power coil, everything else is also in order for crafting. And then we need ourselves the hatches. So let's look at our ZPM. We do not have an input or an output hatch, which I think we're just going to do the input hatch, since that requires a 1. Boom. Tungsten drum barrel. Assembles in a 2, and we got those things ready. And then, to produce the output, we simply just got it in the crafting bench with a screwdriver, just like that. Do we have an empty spot somewhere? Right there. Okay. And so now we can start dishing out our different things to the different places they gotta go. So we need our double plates over here, right? Double plates right there. We need our small pipe, I believe, is all the way in the back over here. Small pipe, small liquid fluid pipe. And then we need our assembler number 2 for the drum. So let's find our assembler number 2. 8. I stopped putting numbers on them, that's my fault. 9, 2. So there is our drums. And then I think it's assembler, and then assembly line. So let's go get that in the assembly line. And these all in the assembler. 1, 2, and 3. So we're still working on the fusion glass, and I don't know what it is that's making it take so long. Let's put this away and go check that out, because always worthwhile finding out what your bottleneck is. Looks like our bottleneck is the mixer, isn't it? I think it's straight up the mixer. Tungsten carbide. I don't want that. I want the recipe for this one. Just like that. Bam, bam, And I don't want it to do that. I want 2 ingots. Oh, we need to go take out the other one. Let's go cancel that other order first. Because that is just an absolute waste of time. So in our number 12 one, just like that. And then we'll go take this stuff out. Put that back in. How much more glass? We need 17. So to get there, we need another 14, it looks like. 14 more. Whoa, 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 whoa. We had those. Something happened? They got dumped into a machine? Either way, it looks like those will still all come together pretty quickly. Especially now that I've fixed that to go through... Where'd it go? That one? The blast furnaces. Yeah, it's going to craft a lot faster now. Go double check that, but it should be demonstrably quicker. Where is it? Yeah, 1 second a piece now for 2 ingots, and then we just have to wait for it to cool over here, which is also basically no time. So that was a large waste of time by still running it through the mixer. By the way, we got lots of tungsten now. And I mean lots, because that's full. This is actually slowly gone down now. This used to be full, and the other chest on the other side used to be full of that stuff. We are through all of what we got there. So the iridium we currently have, which is 378, is all the iridium we have at the moment. But kind of interesting to see this stuff go so fast now. We still want to test out our... Oh, I should definitely check that the force thing is not... Oh, and that tungsten's already gone, so now it's just on to making the fusion glass. So let's go see how fast that's going. Already done by the time that I get over here. Awesome. So we now know our fusion glass is done for that. Now, we do need those ZPM hatches, and I think this is our best way of testing how fast this cutter really works. I just hope that we don't overload the assembly line, because if we do, it's not going to work anymore. So, ZPM hatches. Let's go ahead and craft up 16 of those. It's going to need, this is the part where you're going to need 4 of these nanobit CPU wafers. We're going to need a bunch of these NOR memories cut up as well. Or are they even cut up? They don't cut them up, do they? Oh, no, they do. Okay. We'll need the UHPCI wafers. So let's go ahead and start it. And oh my goodness, it's already going. And 3 seconds for 16 of those wafers to be cut up. 96 in 3 seconds. 6 seconds for 48 of the NOR memory chips. That is wildly fast compared to before. So we actually do need to worry a little bit about this thing overloading now. I think that's the only thing we got to worry about now. I do want to wait till I see a UHPCI chip. Ultra high power integrated circuit. Okay, so all of the qubits get cut up in 6 seconds. Okay, not all of the qubits. I think that's 1 per, so 6 seconds per qubit CPU thing chopped up. Even though we do have a 16 thing, i16 processor. There's our nano chips in 3 seconds. 23. So that's still quite a bit of time, but it's a lot faster than I expected. Now the only question is how much does it take to chop it up normally? Let's go see. We're going to be out of that in just a moment, and we might be able to see it craft 2 of them at once. Maybe. No. Not maybe. So that comes to the question, is this thing what's bottlenecking it? Because I think that crafts up in quite a bit of time. I would think that 30 seconds should have been long enough for it to craft one, but maybe that's all it needed? No, we got a bunch more wafers scheduled, and it needs our high... It makes me wonder what's bottlenecking that now. Everything else seems to be going really fast, though. The sodium potassium... Sodium potassium's actually one of our slowest things, because it's a chemical reactor mixer that's probably somewhere over here that's doing it. As everything else is like quite literally burning through it. Our iron chloride is probably the only other one that's going to be a little bit out there. We did switch out the circuits, it'd probably be better too. But that is another recipe change we're going to have to make sure we do. I do love seeing this thing tick away extremely quickly. But yeah, I'm still kind of curious as to why our wafer's not going through. Because we have lots of the fluids being made up. Maybe just needs another core processor to be able to do that. Oh, we got another one somewhere along the way. What is bottlenecking that? Oh, there we go. That's going fast now. 16, 9. That's also zipping by. So I guess it was the... We need more of the dual processor thing. Or co-processing units. For it to actually function the way we want to. Now, here comes the worrisome part. Is this going to get overloaded with recipes? So we're now crafting, so that does take 23 seconds for those. Are we going to get through another one and see 45 seconds for 4 crafts? So it only goes up by, what is that? That's not quite double the time for an additional 3 crafts. So that's actually, that's going to really help the bottleneck ease up. Because now 45 seconds, I think we got that thing down to... Yeah, 4 seconds a craft on those. With our what is it called? UV? I think is what it is, not UHV? Yeah, UV. So with our UV levels, we're actually getting up pretty fast. Now I could, if I really wanted to, have changed this to a by 16 and allowed the saw to have the UV power rate. Which I might do at some point later, but I kind of wanted to just like have it stay this so we're not using too much more energy just to speed things up. But that will about wrap it up because we're going to have to do that fusion reactor in a whole nother episode as it unlocks a lot more stuff for us to do right after that. And we're going to get started straight into that once that is actually built. I do want to say thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment on the bottom of the video if you enjoyed. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!